Good from DreamHack Studios Grant's house, because that's or DreamHack Monster Studios Grant's house, because that's clearly consumes more Monster energy drink than anywhere other than Rotterdam's house.
Yes. Yep, completely. It is good. I know maybe I shouldn't drink as much as I do, but it's bloody good, and they sponsor StarCraft, so I'm happy to do it. How are you, Craig? Talk to me.
I'm good, man. Can I share? So last night, I don't know if you're aware, Grant, climate change is a global emergency. And okay, never mind. Well, what's happening right now in the States is that it's currently vacillating between very warm weather and super cold weather.
Oh, okay.
And so yesterday evening, it was super warm, but a friend and I made some Lincoln potato soup together.
You told me.
And the Lincoln potato soup was delicious.
Ooh.
And I had a glass of port afterwards. Ooh. Grant, have you ever had port?
Yeah, man, at Christmas.
Of course. You live in the UK and you know what port is. No one in America knows what port is. Nobody's ever heard of it unless you run a liquor store. So this has been, by the way, are you sure you're capturing StarCraft? Okay, we're good. Never mind.
Yeah, there was it always takes a second to kick in. If
that screen always terrifies me. Anyway, had a glass of port yesterday. I went out and treated myself to a bottle of port, and I've been enjoying the living hell out of it. And now finally, it's cold enough to be actually enjoying port. Yesterday it was a little warm, but today I walked to work and almost regretted it. My hands were so cold by the time I got here.
Yeah.
So all in all, I'm doing well. I'm just hoping that the weather evens itself out soon. But honestly, Grant, we both live inside. We both work on esports. Yep. We shouldn't give a damn what the weather is.
No, it doesn't affect me. The only time it affects me is my 30-second walk to the Monster Energy studio store down the road. Now, this game so far, we have had a little bit of shenanigans. eBay block here by AqueroN, forcing ShoWTimE to take his third as his natural base. And we do have AqueroN being a bit cheeky. He is getting that star pool. Hellions are coming out by the duo from that reactor factory, and we will see a very quick Hellion drop here. Now, ShoWTimE is on the prowl. He knows something is up, and he is just looking to confirm what it is, but he hasn't been able to see it. AqueroN been a bit cautious. He's left it quite far away, but of course that's not really a problem, because if it isn't scouted, it can still be a big problem here for ShoWTimE.
Yeah, it really is. And as you said, if ShoWTimE doesn't see that in time, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Now, this Hellion drop is something we've been seeing an awful lot, Grant, in the last couple days of the tournament. I can't count how many games we've seen the Hellion drop, or was it just the 2? But it has been a disturbingly effective strategy against some very good Protoss players who you'd think would be more prepared for it. But look at AqueroN's natural right now. His natural hasn't floated over quite yet, which means he's spent a lot of he has a lot of risk in his main base that he's not been expanding or extending out to the natural yet, so he hasn't had to defend as much, which means this Hellion drop is going to have a lot more confidence in it as it goes in the main base. No observer, no forward pylon, a couple stalkers, but as we've seen before, Grant, 2 stalkers, not always enough.
No, is there a battery? Okay, there's a battery going down right now, but it's not going to be done in time. Behind this ShoWTimE going for a Dark Shrine. He doesn't have that many units here, but it looks like it's going to be enough. I think maybe AqueroN could have been a bit more blasé, a bit more balls to the wall there, and maybe gone for it, sacked a couple of the Hellions to get some damage. But most importantly right now is that there is a Dark Shrine, and there are 2 DTs warping in at the other side of the map. How's it looking, Creighton, in terms of defense?
Man, in terms of defense, Grant, I'm a little concerned right now. There is a Cyclone. It looks like one mule just got dropped here. The main command center, 39 hit energy, so about 10 seconds to go. But the bad news for AqueroN is he didn't get much damage on the other side of the map. 2 probes, Grant, is not quite enough, and the DT is here. It's been seen by AqueroN. The gates have been raised, and now he's just got to hope that he can wait for that scan. But there's already 2 DTs out, and 1 scan won't clean them both up if ShoWTimE is careful.
ShoWTimE, yeah.
And ShoWTimE is careful.
Micro out of that, and that now means so much lost mining time. These workers cannot go near that command center for the foreseeable future. Now, I mean, yeah, this is just free real estate right now for ShoWTimE. He can do whatever he wants in the natural. He's gonna target down this tech lab. Luckily, there is money in the bank for the Raven to start off. And at the other side, finally, we have a bit more of a commitment, a bit more get up and go here from AqueroN, who's gonna find a bit of damage himself with those earlier Hellions. Very nice control there too to save him.
Yeah, finally. You know, it's nice to see a Terran player get some more damage done with Hellions, other than just the initial salvo. It reminds me a lot of a Glaive to Depth pushes, right? Where the first push might not do that much damage, but if you keep them on the map, if you keep that pressure on, it can finally get a bit of damage done economically. Now, granted, again, it's only five kills that second time for a total of 7, and look at the differential between the probe and SCV counts right now, Grant. Even though it was a lot of damage for AqueroN, ShoWTimE's early 3rd base is just going to pay off in spades for him here with 46 probes already down. Robo Bay on the way. ShoWTimE finds himself in a pretty decent position here this game.
Yeah, I'd say the early scraps here are favouring the German Protoss player. It's hard to look otherwise. His third base is very timely. We don't even have a third CC started yet for AqueroN, who is going to be a little bit supply block soon as well. It does look like he's going to break that though before that becomes an issue. That's fine. ShoWTimE supply block 2 did lose a pylon somewhere.
Yeah, up in the scouting pylon up in the top side got caught by those Hellions, so it's gone now. But I was going to say he's not building another one. That's fine. He's finally broken that supply block and adding on 3 extra gateways, Grant, which means he's finally going to be able to pump up that gateway army a little bit to add on to his Colossus tech. So a nice read there from ShoWTimE. Colossus gateway. It's hard to argue against or hard to argue for a better composition against a bio composition.
Yeah, definitely. ShoWTimE has all of the steps that he needs right now, but AqueroN has some time. He's able to start building up a little bit here. He is getting his tank count up. We're looking at 3 already. He does have a Raven as well that's been able to build energy for a good amount of time. You can see already over the halfway point at 110. So it will be able to hit those interference matrices when they count.
Nice, nice.
But right now, AqueroN's still on 2 bases. 7.5 minutes in is super scary. There's still no third CC.
Yeah, he may be actually just going for a 2-base push here. You notice he's only building a 4th barrack and not a 5th barrack, which indicates he might not be looking for quite a sustainable long-term damage. He may, in fact, just be unsieging his tanks and pushing out here pretty quickly, and I think this might be the right call from AqueroN, right? And yeah, he's pulling the boys. Okay. No question, he's not going to go for anything else. He's going to hit with his +1 stim timing, and Grant, this is his best chance if he's ever going to have a chance this game.
Yeah, it's... The second Colossus is already halfway done. Now, the good thing is I don't think ShoWTimE has seen this yet. He will be seeing it when it's already on his side of the map. But the second Colossus is getting very, very close to finishing. Templar Archives is done. So if an Archon can even come in, that offers a lot here against all of these SCVs. This has now been seen, and it's very important. AqueroN needs to get the right fight here. If he can catch him before 2 Colossus with an interference matrix, this could end up being pretty good. Oh my god.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, we got a bit of interference here from our Russian caster crew. It looks like we may have invited the wrong person to the game. It doesn't matter. It's okay. We're ready to roll now. We got some siege tanks up down on the 6 o'clock position, and AqueroN is going to get one refinery there, or one extractor, or whatever the hell they're called for Protoss players. I can't think right now. The 3rd base taking some fire, and a nice siege position here from AqueroN.
Yeah, AqueroN his tank's doing a lot, and the SCVs are still standing strong, but he has no follow-up at all at this point. What he has is what he has, and now he's coming for the fight, but there are 2 Colossus. They have energy, the Dorito cannon coming out, going to catch a lot of these units, but there's just too much Protoss, I'm afraid, here. GG is called, and ShoWTimE takes game 1.
That's right. Good play from ShoWTimE there, and no surprises, right? He holds very strongly. It's a little surprising to go all in against Demauer. But yeah, no surprises that he was able to hold that push there by AqueroN. AqueroN just not getting the damage he needs early and trying to find a good timing, but nice defenses there. Nice defenses. Yeah,
definitely. Now, we will be getting into map 2 shortly. Obviously, we have some issues that we need to solve immediately. I am just going to go and send a couple of messages to the main stream. So we will be getting into map 2. What is map 2 going to be?
Yeah. Greg, you take care of the background stuff here. Let me talk for a bit about what we just saw in that game. We saw a really nice hold by ShoWTimE. AqueroN not finding the damage he needs, and AqueroN is one of those young players. You know, ShoWTimE is a well-established name in the StarCraft scene, both in Europe and all of Germany, and it's not surprising to see him winning that game number 1. And AqueroN is one of those up-and-coming players who's really trying to establish himself, who's trying to make a nice sort of niche for himself here in these couple EU tournaments that he's qualified for. So fingers crossed, AqueroN can show us a bit more of an even game here in game number 2. I really do hope he gets a bit of early game damage done, and we will see what happens here on Lightshade LE, one of the new maps. And I gotta say, Grant, Lightshade is a really, really gorgeous map in the new map pool. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, just the different tile sets that our map makers come up with these days are just superb, absolutely beautiful, and I love to see it. Guys, I do want to take a minute once again as we get into this game to apologize for that. We do have we have the interface bug, so just kidding, we're not getting into the game. That was, of course, someone under a fake name made to look very, very much like one of our real foreign language broadcasters. We have made everyone aware, but I mean, wow.
The Russian casting scene is really having some troubles right now. I'm afraid. I know they're struggling with a lot of different issues that they're going through right now. With they've got some casters fake joining their clan, or some former players that joined their clan under a fake name and like are spreading some bad stuff. Yeah, real rough to see. So hopefully they can figure out what's going on. And but yeah, we do have the right people in our game now, and we should be good to go here for game number 2.
Yes,
Lightshade LE, Grant. I love this map so much. The whole map pool right now is absolutely gorgeous. Lightshade is one of those nice crisp maps. I'm a bit of a minimalist when I decorate my house myself. I love like the straight lines and the clean colors, the blacks, the silvers, the grays. Lightshade speaks to me as a map. I'm just like, this is what every StarCraft should be. Little plants around, but God, gorgeous stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So we will be, of course, now getting into our game 2. We're just double checking everyone that is joining these lobbies at this point. We don't want to take any risks anymore. Yeah, do you know what? I am going to even, I think I can turn it off in game.
Yeah, it's fine, Grant. Yeah, if you can turn off, you can't turn off observer chat in game, I don't think. It happened through observer chat, but don't worry about it, guys. It's just fine. We should be all right going into the next games. We're gonna be just fine. AqueroN and ShoWTimE, as we said, Lightshade game 2. Now, Grant, we are currently in which group are we currently in right now in the tournament? Do you want to give people? I know we sort of jumped into this very quickly. Do you want to give people sort of an opportunity to sort of settle themselves on where in the tournament we are, where in the group stages we are, and how far along we are so far?
Yeah, definitely. So this is day 3. We are currently in Group B. I had to think about that then.
Yeah. It's been a lot of StarCraft.
Yeah, so we start with Group B today, and then we do 2 matches, I believe, from Group C and Group D.
Right.
We go 1-2-2 is our pattern for every day. So we'll do 1 game from.
Quick correction. We've got 2 from Group B today. It's 2B, 2C, and 1D today.
2-2-1. That's the one. I always get it confused.
Yeah, it's 2-2-1 on day 1, and then 1-2-2 on day 2.
Yes. What he said. Anyway, we're in Group B. This is day 3. The group's starting to, you're starting to see now as they build a little bit. Group A has completed 2 full series all the way around. Group B that we're in now, this is the 2nd series for all of the players, and we're getting to those vital wins to determine how well you want to do. The nerves should have been stripped away. You should be feeling a little bit more comfortable as a player now, knowing that you're in your stride and looking to pick up some maps and series wins.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. Series wins are a big deal because, as we all know, every single series win $125 for these players. We should probably intro the players, Grant, before we talk too much about what their prize pools look like.
Yeah, first of all, in the bottom right of Lightshade, playing for BIG, Berlin International Gamers, he is the Blue Pro Tour player leading the Series 1-0. It's ShoWTimE.
And his opponent in the top left-hand side there in the red, it's our Spanish Terran player from Team Roddy. His name is AqueroN.
Oh, yes. That Team Roddy logo is so good. It's so clean.
Who is his graphic designer? Gorgeously done. Gorgeously done. We always talk about, I feel like the StarCraft community, at least the hardcore StarCraft community, really focuses so much on strategy and balance and tactics and unit composition and stuff. And we spend a lot of our time talking about like, oh, wow, it was really cool how AqueroN put down his 2nd barracks before his factory so that he could hit this timing push just when this finished. And we honestly don't talk enough about how awesome the community is when it comes to stuff like graphic design, to video production. We are so fortunate, Grant, to have a beautiful, mature community. I sound like Donald Trump now. A beautiful, mature community. A great community around everything we do here in StarCraft 2. A really holistic approach to esports. And that's one of the reasons that StarCraft 2 has lasted for so long and will continue to last for so long, is that the community itself has a broad set of skills that are developed and shared freely. It's so cool. I love the logo for Roddy's team. And I'm so happy to see both AqueroN and Goblin doing very well.
Yeah.
Losing, of course, his first series and looking like a little bit behind in the 2nd series. But Gabo took a surprise win yesterday.
Yeah, he beat Hero Marine 2-1. I asked him what he did, and he just said Phoenix. So there we go. That answers that question.
It certainly does.
In every regard here. Now we do have the first adept coming up from ShoWTimE. Nice control here from AqueroN is going to be able to deal with this and push it back with and allow that CC to finish on time. It will take off, of course, and re-land. And oh no, okay, he's going to orbital first because it isn't in the right spot, and that really upsets me.
Bold, nice work, TY, putting that orbital command just in just the wrong spot. I remember a game a few months ago where TY built like 6 command centers, all like two blocks away from where they were supposed to be. Ridiculous.
We see Blink as the name of the game here for ShoWTimE. His opening. Now I'm curious. Yes, okay. So AqueroN did manage to get up with that Reaper, although the cliff is blocked. There was enough space here for him to get up and see that Twilight Council whirring away with a chrono into it. And he'll be able to assume, I mean, it's 99% of the time, that will be Blink, and that is, of course, the case here. So he'll start preparing for that, adding on extra barracks, and making sure everything is going to be okay here as well. In terms of the Adept moving in, we have a Robo coming in for ShoWTimE, so he can start getting a Prism and things like that, some observers on the map.
Yes.
And it looks like we're going to be moving into pretty standard free base play from both, but ShoWTimE has bit the... He's been a little bit early on the line here because this is a very quick third, dead on 4 minutes.
Did you say he's a bit early on the lime?
I said he bit... I don't know what I said. I was still thrown off by the last game, to be honest with you, Creighton.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of headspace when you're thinking about something like that going down. Very strange stuff there from our casting crew. Anyway, Hellion going to get in here. One Hellion will make it in. A bit of a late force field. The Reaper pushed out. That Hellion shouldn't get too much damage done here. Stalkers will poke around, and even if he focus fires, maybe 1 probe if he's lucky. Not even 2 probes if he's lucky. 2 probes go down. Reaper pushed away. We'll spot the third, though. And as you said, this game looking very, very standard as compared to the last game. But look at this. AqueroN's still on 2 bases, Grant, and no third base again.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as late as it was last game. Of course, last game he never made that third. I still don't think it's too late for him to throw it down. He's getting his eBay, moving up towards upgrades, getting stim and things like that. I do anticipate he probably will take a third at some point. I don't know if he's just going to pull all the boys again. Although his build is very similar, and he's got it off quite well. In terms of he's had no real denial of mining time or anything like that. His upgrades are well timed. He's going for Widow Mines here as well. So we should be seeing... is there any medevacs on the field? Not just yet. Yeah, 1 on the way now. So I think we'll see a Widow Mine drop come out here. But I really am curious. Is he ever going to take a third, or is this another big SCV pull?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question here. And if AqueroN does go for another big 2-base SCV pull timing, it's going to show just how important it is for these players to study their opponents. Remember, guys, with the DreamHack format that we've got, players have either 1 or sometimes in very rare cases 2 days to prepare for their next opponent. And that really does change the matchup a lot, doesn't it, Grant?
Yes.
And giving these players a lot of time, 24 hours, 48 hours is plenty of time for a StarCraft player to kind of take a look at their opponent's game, see what they've been doing lately, get a read on where they are in the meta, and prepare specific strategies. It's not quite like the GSL where players have weeks to work with their coaches and teams and intricately craft some games. But still just enough time where players like AqueroN can say, okay, I've watched ShoWTimE a lot. He's sometimes weak to these 2-base pushes. Maybe I'll do two base pushes in a row. As it is, though, it looks like AqueroN is grabbing that third base, as you were able to show us.
Yeah, I wouldn't have actually hated it this game either, because it isn't Colossus-based play. There is no Storm, there's a lot of Immortals, a lot of Stalkers, and SCVs don't mind fighting against those units. Now, we do have a drop moving out here, and the rest of the army moving together. Hero Marine Esk here, pulling everything together at about the 7-minute mark just prior, where he is going to go and try and siege up on the north side of the third, I imagine. He's going to run up this ramp. I'm not so sure about this. ShoWTimE in good position. He does have force field energy. Zealot charge is done as well. There are Widow Mines here, though, and with the right connections on the Zealots, there's the potential for damage. Dorito cannon coming in. Oh, it's a big one.
Very nice anti-armor missile there from AqueroN. He's going to pick up and drop on the other side of these force fields. It's a little bit funny for AqueroN to try and make this work where he's got a third base behind, hitting at a later time with a less complex army than last time, and still expecting it to do more damage against ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE, of course, is such an amazing player. I would not expect this army to do much. It is going to get repelled. Not a single SCV, or probably not a single probe has gone down, and AqueroN's going to lose a significant chunk of his army. Grant, I just don't know what AqueroN is thinking. Last game, he hit this timing a little bit more strongly. He had +1. He pulled the boys. He didn't waste money on a third base behind this, and he still wasn't able to break ShoWTimE. coming back in game 2 with a smaller army, with a third CC behind this, without +1, and expecting to break ShoWTimE again, I think that was a bit of a fool error.
I don't know. I don't think he was going for the kill there. He was, he forced out a lot of units. I mean, if ShoWTimE had underprepared, or if he'd have caught him rotating, there was a possibility of damage. But he saved his medevacs. He saved his important units. The Raven's still alive. Most of the Marauders are alive. He traded out a bunch of Zealots, basically, if we look at resources lost. A bunch of Zealots for a bunch of Marines and some Mines. 15 Zealots killed is I mean, he's only lost 10 Marines. 15 Zealots is a lot. I mean, yeah. Oh, man, that's a lot of money.
That's fair. I guess my concern was more about the pacing of the game. Where I think if AqueroN is hoping to get some, I think he was genuinely hoping to get some actual damage done there, some probe damage, maybe even if get lucky, dislodge the third. And you know, he's doing it again. Here come the boys. And Grant, I'm not a pro player. I don't know what's going on in AqueroN's head right now. Does he think he's way more behind than he actually is? You're right. There's no storm, but still going to be a tough hold here or still going to be an easy hold, I think, for ShoWTimE.
I'm curious. Okay, so he doesn't know about the placement of the Templar archives here. I mean, there has a lot of points. A lot of Terrans have done this over the years, and another big anti-armor missile coming in here. Unfortunately, the force field just being a real nuisance. But Storm is done in 15 seconds, and SCVs are really, really crap against Storms. You can now see the push coming in. Storm not done. 5 seconds. A big, big, big concave here from AqueroN.
Yeah, he's actually doing a nice concave here because. Yeah, the spread of the well, he killed the one on the ground there. The other two do get a storm on the south flank. The SCV's disappearing here, but ShoWTimE actually with a very tiny army. What a storm on top of this. Can ShoWTimE warp enough units to defend against this, Grant?
I think so. That one storm, that final storm was the moneymaker right there. That was just so big. It was so close, and it just got enough energy. It ticked to the 75 energy as the fight was going on. If it had been targeted a little bit sooner, we'd have had a whole different ball game right now. But unfortunately for AqueroN, he just threw away too much, and now he doesn't have anything on the ground.
Nothing on the ground at all. Yeah, it looked really good for